This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You could win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up with promo code GOLF SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy, promo code GOLF SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks for Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. The latest episode of SGP Stories is out on Patreon, and the guys do a Forensic Files style deep dive on the Bobby Petrino motorcycle accident that cost him his job. Make sure to check that out, plus the WNBA Gambling Podcast, as Terrell and Scott have started out red hot with their locks. Ton of great content there. Please go check it out at the SGPN network. I am back. We just are nonstop streaming for the John Deere Classic Week. This is show number 3 of maybe 7 on the week. The content doesn't stop here at the Golf Gambling Podcast. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into the DraftKings pick for the week. This one's going to be a little bit more ownership related, who to pivot onto, who to pivot off to, my guesses, my thoughts on who is chalky, who is not. Let's do it. We'll do the 10K and above range. Jordan Spieth, Sepp Straka, Sung J M, Aaron Rai. PC led the way at 11, and now he is out. So who is going to take up all the ownership? I think it's got to be Sung J M. Why? Because he's the cheapest out of the guys who are real golfers. I guess that's a little bit disrespectful to Aaron Rai, who's playing really good, but Sung J M, people see that name, they're like, okay, I want to click Sung J. Jordan, very interesting because he's now the highest priced golfer and his form is so spotty. Obviously, he's got some interesting course history here, has won here before, but do you want to go all the way to the top with Jordan Spieth? Actually, I think I do, as a crazy person that I am, but I'm not sure what the industry will do. Will the public go to Jordan Spieth? I really do think everyone's going to click Sung Jae and in this 10K pricing in DFS. If Sepp comes in a little under owned, Sepp's got to be a hammer because whereas Sung Jae had that really good result of the Travelers, Sepp's been so consistent in his last 8 starts. He's just absolutely striping the ball for the last 2 months. So I think Sepp is very safe. I think Sung Jae is going to be the chalkiest. I think Jordan Spieth is going to go under the radar, and I think Aaron Rai is a question mark, and we'll know about him more on Tuesday or Wednesday later in the week. Bring my screen back up, talk a little bit about this 9K range, who's going to be popular, who's not. Mav leads the way at 9.8, all the way down to Sam Stevens at 9K, which is just a crazy price. So up top, you got Mav, Davey T, Denny above 9.5. From this range, I think that the chalkiest one will be Davis Thompson. I think my favorite is probably going to be Denny McCarthy. And then thirdly, I'd probably rank Maverick McNeely. It's because I wanted to get on Maverick McNeely last week. He was playing good golf coming in, but as soon as he gets chalky, as soon as everyone jumps on him, he forgets how to hit an iron, and that makes sense because Mav is just such a gutless guy like that. And Den, I have a very interesting nugget with Denny, and if you heard me on other shows, disregard this, but in Denny's last 11 events, he's lost ball striking in 9 of them, and he's gained in 2 of them. 2 of those events were on TPC designs. 9 of those events were not on TPC designs. This week, we're on a TPC design with TPC Deere Run. So if Den feels good on these TPC cookie cutter basic golf courses, get him there. He hit his irons well in his last start of the TPC design. I'm down. He's got back-to-back top 6 finishes here. And I feel like he's a guy who, when he gets chalky in these shitty fields, yeah, he's probably not going to win, but he's a safe guy with a high floor to put in your lineup as a second guy in at $9,500. So I really do like Denny. Maverick's risky. I think Davis Thompson is really trending in the right direction as well. So I think in the top of the 9K range, Davey T and Den are my favorite guys. But I think the chalk is going to be with Davey T. Down to 9.4 and below, Jason Day 9.4, Keith Mitchell 9.2, Posty 9.1, and Stevens 9.0. Very interesting range. I think Posty is strictly underpriced. I think if you just want to go on a guy sometimes the underpriced guys get chalky, but they're underpriced for a reason and can definitely we can work with them. I think he is the guy who's underpriced, and he's not coming in with great form, so maybe he won't be that chalky. But I like to get ahead of JT Poston. I like when he plays well in very quick spurts and he starts quick. So I like to get ahead of Poston. I tried to do it at the Travelers. It didn't work. I'm going to try again here. I think he's a good candidate to play some good golf this week. And Keith Mitchell, I hope nobody plays Keith Mitchell because the sicko that I am is going to go back to him and maybe every market. This is one of the few courses where Keith Mitchell has gained on approach in every single trip, which is very odd for Keith Mitchell. And he's been so good on approach this year. But it's just a sucker. I honestly, like, now that I'm saying this, I can't be a sucker. I'm not going to bet Keith Mitchell. I think he's a better DFS play than he is bet because he's just going to be so gutless out the gate, going to be 1 over through 7. You're going to be pissed, fighting to make the cut. But he'll probably have a good round on Saturday and get inside that top 8 and then he'll pay himself off in DFS. So I think down here, the best plays are probably Poston and then Mitchell. Jason Day, I'm not sure how you can get to. He has not gained strokes ball striking in anywhere. Honestly, Mike Manning, first of all, you are one of the most ride or die guys. I want you to DM me later and teach me about rainmakers because I don't know much about rainmakers. So if you can, shoot me a message and I want to talk about rainmakers for a little bit. But bottom of this 9K range, yeah, I don't know how you can get to Jason Day. And weirdly enough, Jason Day's played this event 5 times in his career, and he doesn't have a top 10. Like, that's a little bit concerning for, obviously, even your mom knows who Jason Day is. He is a generational talent of one of the better golfers of all time. Like, I'm not saying maybe not of all time. He's Jason Day, though. He's a former world number 1. The fact that he doesn't have a top 10 here in his career is somewhat concerning. And then Sam Stevens, 9K, was a great play for us last week. He cashed me a lineup. He was a key piece in one of my lineups that cashed me well. So I don't think we're going to go back to him because there was a lot of short game. I know you need short game here, but I think I'm going to pivot off Sam Stevens where he was 7,200 last year, and the field is not that much better for him to be all the way up in the 9K range. So let's get into this 8K range quickly before we get into the 8K range. A little bit of ad reads. Pick 8 is now live for Underdog Fantasy. Create entries with up to 8 picks, and Underdog will automatically double flex it so you can miss up to 2 picks and still win. With more picks to win and extra ways to win, the excitement is higher than ever. You can win up to 325 times your original amount. And now boost and specials are going on all flex entries. I'm going to make a pick 8. You can see my picks from from Wednesday to Saturday night over at SGPN.com. Sign up with promo code GOLFSGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Promo code GOLFSGPN. Circa and Circa Millions. Circa Sports is back with their Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake contest. Circa Millions is when you pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week to compete for a $6 million prize, or survive the NFL gauntlet to claim the $10 million prize. Sign up in person from the 7th of September or by the 7th of September, or use a proxy and play from anywhere in the entire country. We have a deal with footballcontestproxy.com to save $50 with promo code SGP. Definitely get out to Vegas if you're there from August to 22nd. From 22nd to the 24th, say what up to our guys, Sean and Ryan, at some of the bar events that they are having. So bring the screen back up. Let's get down into this 8K range real quick. Let's see. Do we have a 5K range? No, we don't. Okay. Okay. 8K range. We have, who leads us off? Nick Dunn down to Taylor Montgomery's out, down to Sweet Bo Hosser at 8-1. Definitely some interesting names, and I love Nick Dunlap at the top because Nick Dunlap is playing some all right golf. He played really, really well at the Rocket Mortgage Classic, and this is the least nuanced course that Nick Dunlap has played since his win at the American Express. And American Express and the John Deere Classic ask you very similar questions. Like you hit the fairways and you're really good with your wedges and short irons. You make a ton of putts. That's kind of what Nick Dunlap has proven to be good at. And if you know me, you know my take about how you want Nick Dunlap on no nuance, easy golf courses, and that's what we have here. So Nick Dunn 8-9 is one of my favorite plays for sure. Then after him, we got Kevin Yu, Lucas Glover, Luke Clay, and Eric Cole. I think the best play here is Lucas Glover. I don't think you could play Clanton. I don't think you could play Kevin Yu. I don't think you could play Eric Cole. Eric Cole finally had a good week, but he's just, I don't do the Eric Cole thing. Like, he has zero chance to win. Sure, he could backdoor a good finish, but He's been so bad this year. I'm not buying him after one solid week. Luke Clanton is a young stud. Sure, he's going to be very chalky, but I'm not buying a guy who's only done it twice in 2 starts. He can easily have a poor week. And Kevin Yu won't make any putts. This is a Glover golf course. He's going to hit a ton of fairways. He's elite with his wedges, and he's shown some things with the putter. And not too long ago at Colonial, he had the best putting week in like 6 years for him. So I'm down for some Glover. He's won before, and these are the golf courses that Glover plays really well. I really like the bottom of this 8K range. Seamus Power and Adam Svensson are virtually lineup locks for me. They both play really, really well on these short style courses where you have to heat up with the putter sometimes, but really be good with your short irons and wedges. Seamus Power is my favorite play on the board, I think. Like, this man has made every cut here, has ball struck it really well here. And in his last start at the Travelers Championship, which is obviously an elevated event with a great field, he gained strokes in every single category. So I like some Seamus Power at 8,200. And then Bo Hoster, he had it, is coming off of his best ball striking week of his 2024. So there's a lot to like at the bottom of this 8K range. I like it more than the top for sure, besides Nick Dunlap. Let's get into the 7K range. Ben Griffin, 7'9", all the way down to Chan Kim at 7K flat. So this is one of the bigger range. Let's start at the top with Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin, you want Ben Griffin on short courses. He played fine last week. I want to see exactly what he did last week because I'm kind of intrigued with Ben Griffin. He ended up finishing T31. Fine. He's made his last 2 cuts, or actually, no, I think Travelers was he at the Travelers? Let's see. Yeah, he was not a cut made because it was no cut event, but he's gained 3 on approach in his last 2 starts. I don't mind that. Has he played here before? I don't know why I don't remember Ben Griffin's stats. No, he's never played here before. But if there's a course where Ben Griffin's going to play well, this makes a ton of sense. I know he's usually better at Bermuda, but he played really good at the Canadian Open, which isn't Bermuda. Putt well last week. I think I could see myself getting to Benny G. Patrick Rogers, $7,800. Missed a cut here last year, but he finished all right last week. Had a really bad Sunday, but he was playing well up until then. I don't love his irons to find the success this week, so I'm going to be out on P-Raj. Adam Schenk playing horrendous golf this week, but it is definitely a Schenk course. He's finished T6 or better in the last 3 of the last 4 years. Michael Thorbjornsen at $7,700 is one of my favorite plays on the board. A young guy who is touted as this absolute bomber, which he is. But like Ludwig, he came out and Ludwig played really well at these short positional tracks. Why can't Thorbjornsen do the same thing? So I'm definitely down for some Thorbjornsen. He finished top 20 in this event last year. He's got a T4 at the Travelers and when it was not elevated. I like him. Missed the cut last week, so he should be rested and hungry. 7-6, Ryo Hisatsune. Not many better courses for Ryo than what we have here. He's a positional course. He's going to hit every fairway. He's going to be great with his irons and wedges. The putter is truly a question mark. I'm not sure I love the middle of this 7K range. I do like Andrew Novak at $7,500. He's not far removed from his best approach week of his career, which he did in Canada. So I definitely like Novak a little bit. JJ Spawn, I also do like. Spawn is really finding some things. His win came on a similar style TPC golf course. He's gained an approach in 7 straight weeks, which is a great sign. He's going to play from the fairway, and he's streaky with the putter. I could see myself betting Spawn. I could see myself getting to Spawn a ton in DFS. Bottom of the 7K range, Joel Damon makes a ton of sense. Joel Damon has been striping the ball. He played pretty well at the Rocket. He usually does his best work in easier conditions. His missed cut here in 1 trip, so hopefully that takes a little bit of the ownership off of Joel Damon, but I do like him. Grayson Sigg and Chris Gotterup are 2 golfers who are, I would say, Chris Gotterup's higher ceiling. Chris Gotterup has a 4th place finish here in his career, which is odd because he's just so streaky with the approach play. We know he can drive it really well at any golf course. So I like Chris Gotterup at 7-2, a little bit of a bounce back. Chandler Phillips, I really love at 7-1. This guy's been striping his irons. His 2 best finishes of the season have came on shorter courses. He played really well outside of last week. And then the bottom of the 7K range, like, there's some interesting guys like Knapp and Meisner have done really good things. They'll probably eat up some chalk. So there's going to be some guys down here that will kind of pop up out of nowhere. I could see Bud Cauley, who's done good on these short courses in his career. He's shown good signs this season. So Bud Cauley, probably my favorite play down here out of like the sneaky ones who don't make a ton of sense. 6K range coming up. Before we get to the 6K range, let me tell you quickly about Rhythm. If you plan on watching the JDC this weekend, you need to download Rhythm. Their golf feature makes it easier than ever to find the best betting opportunities for the John Deere Classic by letting users create custom betting models and instantly see recommendations for outrights, T5s, T10s, and T20s. Rhythm presents these bet recs in a menu-like format, making it easy to see where your models agree and helping you feel confident in your betting decisions. Rhythm also features an AI caddy, which gives bettors a chance to see every single golfer in the field's simulated performance thanks to their powerful AI algorithm. And you can use this to find huge plus money betting opportunities throughout every tournament. Rhythm is the ultimate betting and DFS companion. Download now and start your 7-day free trial for the JDC. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM for your 7-day free trial. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the 6K range. I'm not going to deep dive the 6K range because I have a show dedicated to the 6K range, but I will list off a few names that I kind of like in the 6K range. David Skins at $6,900. The dude has been striping his irons, and he is a new man. Like, the fact that David Skins is top 100 in driving distance just shows how hard he's working this year. So I'm definitely down for some Skins at $6,900. Middle of this 6K range, Lanto Griffin. I kind of like Lanto Griffin. His price is at $6,600, and let me tell you a little bit about Lanto Griffin. He shot -4 in round 1 and then missed the cut after a really, really poor round 2. But the round 2 was due to poor around the green play. He's been hitting the ball well the last few starts he's had, and he's made 2 cuts here in 3 trips. They're not necessarily high finishes, but I think Lanto is safe to make the cut this week opposed to last week. So definitely keep an eye on those 2 guys up there. And then $6,300 Nick Lindheim. He made the cut last week, and which is awesome for his first start since May. His stats are not going to turn any heads, but he's a guy who does it really well in these shitty fields with Corn Ferry type events. This guy was elite on the Corn Ferry last year. So Nick Lindheim 6'3", Lanto Griffin 6'6", and David Skin 6'9", or some early 6K plays, but tune into the 6K show, which will probably come tomorrow afternoon. So quick DFS preview. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll definitely talk to you guys later in the week. A ton of content coming from me this week because Capper and Steve are parents, so they have to take the week off. I'm not a parent yet. I wonder if I'll ever be a parent. DM me if you think I'll be a parent. That's your. No, I'm just kidding. DM me with any questions about golf. Catch you guys soon. Fun, excited for the JDC week. 6K and best bets tomorrow. Peace out.